Hey everybody, today I will be talking about things in K-pop that are constantly on my mind. Normalization of obsession with an idol's body and face. Compared to other genres of music, there isn't another genre that I know of at least that in the past 2 decades of its existence has been so hyper-focused on how another human body is shaped. Whether you're skinny, normal weight, or thicker, you'll never be good enough. If you're skinny, you'll get called a twig. If you're thicker or plump, the comments won't stop bringing it up. Everywhere you go, you see an idol being called a goddess or a standard. And whether we want to admit it or not, because I'm included in this as well, it has an effect on how we view ourselves. I've been asking myself so much lately that why have K-pop stans normalized having YouTube videos, news articles, tweets, shorts, TikToks, Insta posts, forums, etc. about an idol's face or body as a point of discussion? I got dragged on Instagram by K-pop stans last week for bringing this up. Innocent idols getting more hate than guilty idols. I remember when the false allegations about Woojin came out and Stays went out of their way to edit OT9 performances to make fun of Woojin. I remember Stays would take clips of Woojin out of context to make him look like a bad person. And when I scroll on Pinterest, I see Garam photoshopped out of OT6 pics of LE SSERAFIM. However, when it comes to actual idols that are predators and criminals, I never see that same energy and it leaves me dumbfounded. I don't want to sound like I'm making it about me, but K-pop fans need to keep that same hate train energy when it comes to idols and celebrities that are actually bad people. Fair line distribution debate. This debate gets on my nerves because it seems like some people don't want fair line distribution, they want equal line distribution. And when you look into some of the songs stans complain about, there are valid reasons as to why some idols get more lines than others. Reasons like a song being more vocal heavy, a song being more rap heavy, or a member being a weaker vocalist. The only idol I actually think deserves more lines than they get is Twice's Jin-young. Junghyun's a lead vocalist, but doesn't get treated like one. And out of all the Twice members, she has the most vocal consistency in their live performances. And with her recent health hiatuses, has seen a decline in lines. Yeah, it just seems like people don't know the definition of fair because people be complaining when their idol can't even hold a note. Sympathy standing and sympathy marketing. Stans of K-pop idols like Baehi stans and other fan bases are sympathy stans. I define sympathy standing as people that stand an idol because they feel bad for them or have a hero complex rather than standing for the entertainment that idol brings them. It's annoying to me as it's so obvious which idols have a lot of sympathy stands. If an idol gets the least amount of lines or the least popular member in the group is where a lot of these sympathy stands come from. But there are other reasons as well. Lately, sympathy stans have been out of control. They'll send hate to the most popular members in the group, like Baehi stans and some Guile stans. My second point about companies using sympathy to rope in stans is something I thought about when a clip of Sakura crying about the strict beauty standards applied to female idols went viral. I'm not undermining Sakura's experiences and feelings. However, for this to end up in the documentary felt calculated for me because K-pop companies do everything in their power to cover up their idols publicly voicing their complaints about the industry or their company. It feels like Source Music did this to get sympathy for fans to make the fan base stronger. In my podcast a few weeks ago, I talked about COVID standing and how shared pain brings people together. When fans see idols struggling, they feel like they can relate more and grow a bond with that idol, therefore strengthening the parasocial relationship, therefore sympathy marketing. Forming/believing opinions with no evidence. When I first debuted, and even now, so many people are saying IVE is Wang and friends, and I, someone that is nowhere close to being a stan in the group, was like, where? It's so annoying to hear people constantly say that, but if you keep up with the group's activities and promotions in the slightest, you know that's far from the case. And Starship does a pretty good job at promoting IVE as a group and individually. So, the reason I'm hung up on this is because when K-pop stans watch videos that are clearly edited and taken out of context and believe that to be the whole truth, it's such a facepalm moment. K-pop gossip outlets are making views and money off of K-pop stans' gullibility and laziness because people would rather jump to conclusions and label someone as the villain or the hero and watch these scandals play out as if it's some episode of Pretty Little Liars when these are real people and not TV show characters. Number 6, K-pop concepts that are all over the place. In 2022, I noticed a trend of concept photos and music videos being total opposite vibes from how the music actually sounds. The first thing that comes to mind for many is the mess that was sneakers, but there are others I've noticed, like Sparkling by Chungha being a bright pop song while the B-sides are very grungy and so were the concept photos. Twice as between 1 and 2 concept photos were really all over the place for me. It was Y2K, then it was grass aesthetic, then it was sexy. Like, what are we going for here? Key's Gasoline photo book was a retro concept, but the music video took place in Kwangya, I think, and the song was Gatorade commercial music. It's just confusing how the aesthetics are all over the place. Number 7, K-pop stans flexing their idols' lipped high notes. It's a pet peeve of mine when K-pop stans are talking about vocals, but you can tell they have no idea what they're talking about and are just throwing around a bunch of words that they heard from other vocal commentators but don't know what they mean. I'm not trying to be one of those people that are like, if you are not a vocalist, don't criticize an artist's vocals because that's a stupid argument in the first place. However, if you are going to analyze an idol's vocal performance, the least you could do is find a live performance and know the definition of the words you're using. It's comical and annoying. I remember watching a short of someone ranking step back performances, and when it came to Boa, they were like, stable. How are you stable while lip syncing? Please make it make sense. And then a few days ago, I was watching a short of Chaeyeon, the girl's high note versus the Luna member's high note, and the comments were comparing who's better, and I'm like, both are lip synced. Like, can you guys not hear? Chaeyeon's high note was obvious that she lip synced over a pre recorded high note. Number 8, SM stands and their superiority complex. Average internet users know how toxic Blinks and armies are, but SM stands are the large, quiet enemies among us. First, being a stand of a company is a red flag. Second, SM stands are everywhere and are boastful wherever they go. Like, we get it, your idols have the best vocals in the industry. Yes, we get it, your idols have the best discographies in the industry. Are you happy now? SM stands' arrogance is so high that when people say an SM's idol's vocal ability isn't as good as people make it out to be, or a person criticizing the SMR's discography, SM stans take it personally and begin to drag you. SM stans love using the word tasteless. Vixo is the YouTuber I've seen get dragged by SM stans the most. The vibe SM stans give me is that they let the public opinion of SM artists as a whole influence their opinion rather than listening to the artist's content and deciding for themselves. I think the influx of SM stans has arisen in the past few years due to three things. Number 1, SM has been releasing more polarizing music. Number 2, 90% of SM idols don't sing live anymore. Number 3, there are other technically skilled vocalists and more popular visuals coming from JYP and other non-big three companies, and aespa and NCT really have a lot of other competition and aren't really the top groups. So, as a result, SM fans have formed an army to defend the company from critics. Number 10, commenters on the Shiny ODG video talking about Jenga's death for likes. When the ODG video dropped last year, I remember seeing so many comments and it hit me in the gut. The reason I was and I'm still upset is because I feel like the top comments on that video were insincere and people went and commented on that video just for likes and attention because anytime someone brings up Junghyun, it always gets attention, which I don't understand why some Shawwalls even give these people attention to begin with. I know I'm biased because Jungkook is my favorite K-pop idol of all time, and I'm always willing to admit my bias. But not even from a biased standpoint, just for the sake of human decency and basic respect, it's very painful for me to see these people using someone's death for attention, instead of his death being something we can learn from, being aware of our own mental well-being and the well-being of others, showing empathy to others, and not putting people down just because we have resentment for them. Out of all 10 things, this is something I'm hung up on the most. Honorable mentions. I made this section to include things I wasn't sure if they fell more under pet peeves or that I felt like I couldn't go through great detail in. Number one, idols lip syncing poorly. It comes off as lazy. Number two, a lack of alternative R&B and alternative pop songs in K-pop. Number three, female idols going viral for struggle twerking. Number four, stans that make sexual comments about minors. Number five, justifying hate just because you don't like an idol. Number six, stans wanting others to respect their opinions when their opinions are ludicrous. Number seven, K-pop collectors collecting an idol when they've only been standing the idol for like one day. Outro. This is a list of things in K-pop I'm hung up on. Hopefully with this I can get some of these things off of my chest. Which one of my opinions do you agree with? Which one of my opinions do you disagree with? What are your overall thoughts? And what things in K-pop are you hung up on? Because I know we all have something that just ticks us off about this industry.